The wait is over. We have stepped onto the AFLW stage officially for the first time, and while it wasn't the result the girls were after against Collingwood, there was still plenty to like and the future looks bright. Welcome everyone. You are watching The Wrap, and someone who was out there for history-making day for the West Coast Eagles in AFLW yesterday is Dana Hooker. In summary, how special was it?
Yeah, it was an incredibly special day for me individually, for the club and for the team to step out there for the first time. A lot of emotion leading into the game, probably the most emotion I felt leading into any game so far, and I guess that was just the level of support we had around the team on the day, from all these executive staff to Trevor in the room, to having some family, Chantella's mum being there, which was quite personal for her, a very special moment, something that they'll get to keep going forward. And LD's pre-game speech, gee, he was good. I really rated him. He was good. I had goosebumps. And things went well. The preparations leading into the game were really well done, and it was a special day, and I was very proud to run out there.
Can I ask you about the song? Because there was so much mentioned about the song, of course. It was released during the week. Did you hear it when you went out there, and what was that like?
I did, and yeah, it was pretty good actually. I enjoyed that. It's different to the usual club anthem. It's a real song, and it was distinct, and yeah, enjoyed listening to it as we ran across to the far side of the field.
Now, the banner didn't quite survive, of course, and we know that it was extremely windy and the wind was going to the right of screen, which was the end that you kicked the first goal. More on that in a moment. But the banner didn't survive, but hats off to the banner crew and the cheer squad. They did a remarkable job to be there. Disappointing for them, but it looked like everyone still enjoyed the moment.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. It's typical West Coast v Collingwood with banner issues, isn't it? Couldn't believe it when we ran out and Swanee says to me, you know, you go first with the girls, I'm going to wrap up from behind and stop at the banner. I started walking out, and as soon as I looked up, I went, oh, gee, this isn't good, but we'll make do. And everyone was smiling. You know, it doesn't matter what's going on with the banner. You're enjoying that moment for the first time running out. Couldn't read what was on it, but that's okay. We went straight underneath it. And funny when you talk about the banner crew, for some reason I hear this voice yell out, and it's my old man that's holding the banner. And he tells me after the game, he goes, he was blaming the people on the other side that weren't strong enough to hold it up. So
it's always a good story, but well done to the banner crew. Did a remarkable job there in trying conditions. In regards to the game, just in summary, disappointed, yes, with the result, but gee, there was some upside.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we came out of the blocks in the first quarter, and there was a lot to like about that first. The pressure that we brought around the contest was exceptional. We set ourselves up really well. We probably didn't capitalise as well as we should have in the first, but we had plenty of opportunity. What I liked, though, was in the second, when I guess Collingwood had found a bit of momentum in their game, we were able to stem that late in the second, which that in AFLW footy and any footy is quite a tricky thing to do. You know, when the opposition have momentum in a game, it's how you can slow them down and impose yourself into the game that really counts. And I thought we did that quite well in the second. Unfortunately, the second half, I think, you know, their experience really shone through, and composure and an ability to play that, you know, the second half of the game quite well. And they exposed us on the outside a little bit. But I thought across the board for a first hit out, there's plenty of good takeaways from that as well, and positives, plenty to work on going forward. But expansion team, new to the competition, there's going to be some challenges, but we're going to work through that, and we're just going to get better.
And none of the expansion teams won on the first round because it is tough, and experience does account for plenty. You kicked the goal, you kicked the first goal, another little bucket list tick, I would imagine, for Dana Hooker. Great emotion. You must be pretty thrilled, and you must be still on a high.
Oh, look, at the time I was pretty excited. I reckon that was the biggest celebration I've ever had, but it was the biggest celebration I've ever been a part of with the team, you know, when everyone mobs you and all the pictures that come out, and there's my head under someone's armpit, and this is happening here, and someone's picking me up, and everyone's cheering, and Swanee's running away looking like she's running to get some piece of food, as she's called it. I don't know, it was pretty exciting, and it was a great moment for the team. Yeah, and like a few people have said to me, I'm forever going to be a part of quizzes. So we'll take something from that. But no, it was a special moment for the team, not necessarily me individually, but for the team. We just got to get better at putting a few more on, hey?
Yeah, well, it'll happen. We will take a check of what's going to happen, of course, this week against Fremantle for the big home derby at Optus Stadium. More on that shortly. Just in summary then, with the newcomers, 10 newcomers against 2. They had 2. They were both Irish imports. Been there, done that. They look slightly bigger bodied and a bit more better combat prepared, if you know what I mean. Do the girls who made their debut, what did they say post-game? What was the feedback you got from some of the youngsters?
Yeah, they were really positive. You know, it's an exciting day for them to run out, and some of them, there was a lot to like about what they contributed on the field. talking about a couple of the Irish girls, ours in Neve and Grace, I thought they both competed really hard and didn't look out of place out of there. So I was really proud of them. You know, Michaela Bowen, a 19-year-old, she just got better as the game went on, and someone of that age and debuting, confidence is a big thing, and she's just going to build that as the season goes on, and she's a very, very good player. So we're all expecting great things from her, all in good time. But I thought she was very good, particularly in the second half. She really got into the game. Our other debutantes, they were all just up and about. You know, they really enjoyed that moment, and so they should. You know, it's a big thing, and there's a lot to learn in footy, and it takes time and experience to understand what it takes to get to certain levels. But they had every right to enjoy that, and we all did, and I think we did. And
I think West Coast Eagles fans will be incredibly proud. Can you just tell us what the plane trip home was like for the girls? Are they exhausted? Was it the end of what was a huge build-up? Because it wasn't just a build-up for the week, was it? It's been a build-up over many months and in some cases many years.
Yeah, no, the plane ride home was okay. We're still having a few laughs with the girls and enjoying each other's company and reflecting on a few things. And, you know, a lot of the chat wasn't necessarily about footy. It's just about, you know, what's going on at home, what's going on with life, having a bit of a laugh with things externally to football, which is good, and building those relationships. That's one of the bonuses of travel, I think. You know, you've got that time together where you can just talk about anything. And yeah, we had the game ready passed around and the leg compressions in the plane, which is interesting in a tight space, passing those pieces of equipment around to prepare our body for a 6-day break. But the flight home was good.
Well, it's all part of the experience for many of the girls for the first time to travel away, hotel, travel on a bus and then back onto a plane home. So I'm sure they'll be ready for the next time it happens. Coach Luke Dwyer, well, we've heard he was pretty motivating pre-game. Here are his thoughts at the end of the contest, beaten by Collingwood.
We're really happy. You know, it's our third ever game together, and there's a lot to like within the game in terms of our forwards and our mids and our backs doing things that we've seen improvement over those 3 games. There was times in Q2 and Q3 where Collingwood really brought some good pressure, and we'll look at that and acknowledge that they're a fantastic team and they've played a lot of footy together, so we knew that, but I guess there was times where we probably just fell a little bit short in some of the contests. Yeah, we had some opportunities. Clearly, we had some inside 50s that we didn't quite finish off, but that's a positive that we're getting it in there. They're a great group. They're really mature. They've taken every part of this in their own steps. So we're really comfortable with what the travel presents for us. We look forward to coming over and playing in Melbourne and Sydney, but obviously we get some games in Perth too. So that's great. But no, they've handled it really well.
Eagles coach Luke Dwyer there, and he, of course, has to control a derby. More on that just in a moment, but let's talk about the injuries. Of course, it came at a price, the result yesterday. Yeah,
we lost Hilly early in the game, which was tough to see. Probably a significant knee injury. We're not sure yet. She'll get a scan today, but devastating for her. She's a ripping player, and she would have contributed massively to the team as this season went on. So fingers crossed it's not as serious, but we'll wait and see on that one. And that obviously makes it tough when you lose one off your rotations on game day. That can make it challenging.
And Grace Kelly got cramp again. She needs more salty water. What's going on there with the Irish girl?
Oh, I'm not sure. It's different conditions to probably what they're used to playing in Gaelic, a little bit hotter and more humid. So, but she'll be just fine.
4:10 Saturday, Optus Stadium. It is huge. It's already going to be around 35,000 people there. How do I say this? You might come under some attention from your former teammates, but you've had a bit of a warm-up to it. You played a couple of weeks ago in a bit of match sim. How exciting is it for WA football and the West Coast Eagles for Saturday at Optus Stadium at 4:10?
Yeah, massive game. The Derby, anywhere in WA, when the Derby's on, everyone's tuned in and it's a big occasion and people are incredibly passionate about it and brings out all sorts of fans. But we're really looking forward to the occasion. It's going to be a big challenge. We know Fremantle are in good form and they came off a good win, but we're going to be super competitive. We're going to enjoy the occasion. It's all for a good cause with the funds going to the bushfire appeal, but we're just looking forward to it.
Well, your debut yesterday for the West Coast Eagles and your debut on the wrap has been an exciting one. Dana Hooker Thanks for your company. The West Coast Eagles are hosting the Fremantle Dockers at Optus at 4:10 for the very first AFLW Derby. We'll catch you then.